Hi guys, and welcome to the Boffix YouTube channel. Now as of today, July the 1st, 2021, the EU are making some changes to its VAT rules. Now I've already done a couple of posts on our social media platforms just to give you a heads up of these changes. We've given a brief description of these changes and who it affects, but in this video we're going to dive a little bit deeper into that information for you. So I'm going to hand you over now to Chartered Accountant, Head of Accounts here at Boffix, UK Certified Trainer, and the QuickBooks chap, Aaron Patrick, so he can explain it all for us.
Hello, and welcome to this video. Okay, so let's get straight to the point on this one. First of all, on the 1st of July 2021, so as of time of recording, we've not got too long left for this one, the EU is making changes to its VAT rules. This will affect shipments to the EU, so any European country, and those made between EU countries. The EU, so one of the big changes here is that currently, prior to the 1st of July, you always had that €22 VAT exemption from imports. Unfortunately though, from July, that 22 VAT exemption will completely disappear. And from July, VAT will be charged on imports on the EU regardless of value, so no more €22 exemption. VAT will apply on the rate of the buyer's country of residence. So if you think about it, if you're selling from the UK and you sell to Germany or you sell to Spain, doesn't matter where it is that you're selling to, potentially it's going to be up to you to be able to actually apply the VAT as of Germany, France, Spain's VAT rates. Please bear in mind that it's not the same for every EU country. In fact, they all have varying degrees of differences when it comes to VAT. For goods valued up to €150 though, there is a bit of good news. And this is where it gets a little bit more simpler compared to what it used to be. You can now use what's called IOSS, which stands for Import One-Stop Shop. When importing goods valued €150 or less, businesses will be able to charge VAT at the point of sale by using the new EU's new Import One-Stop Shop, or we're going to call it IOSS. This excludes goods subject to excise duty. Alternatively, it can still be collected from the receiver, but the IOSS is designed to make the process smoother, helping to avoid unexpected customs and carry admin fees for your customers. So if you think about it, currently if you send something to the EU, then what happens is you send that item and then the customer experience is that they're going to get an email or letter and they're then going to have to make due on that import duty. And that was causing a lot of friction. In fact, as much as 30% of the goods that we were sending from the UK to EU was being returned back because the end consumer, your customer, wasn't willing to pay that import duty. And if you think from your own experience, it's really difficult to account for it because you're not knowing how much your import duty is going to be until it actually arrives on your doorstep, or at least that due for payment arrives on your doorstep. So the idea of IOSS is to remove that completely so that the buyer knows exactly how much the item is going to cost from day one. They pay those items, and then it's up to you as the owner then, or the business owner, to then actually make good on that VAT. And that's what we're going to talk about now. The EU is changing the distance selling VAT threshold regime. Until now, EU businesses have had to register for VAT in each individual EU country in which they sell goods and charge customers their domestic VAT rate once sales hit a certain threshold. And those certain thresholds were actually quite beneficial to you because it was between €30,000 to €100, just depending on which country you were selling in. But because it was all individual, you had to actually make enough sales in that particular country for you to hit the threshold and for going forward. From July, this threshold is completely being removed and the VAT rate must be charged from the first sale. However, businesses can choose to close their VAT registration in different EU countries and file all sales through a single one-stop shop VAT return. VAT would be paid to the home VAT authority to the EU country of registration, then forward to relevant EU countries of the buyers. The VAT rates of those countries would still apply and you would need to charge the customs accordingly. There is an exemption to EU businesses that sells less than 10,000 per annum cross-border on businesses to consumer, goods and services, these businesses can charge their domestic VAT rate and report sales in their usual domestic VAT return. Now, there's a lot to take in there, but one of the key things to think about from this is the fact that now, if you are looking to sell abroad, and you are, especially if you're looking to actually have a branch out over abroad, so if you're looking to, have an area within the EU where you're going to actually hold all your goods and you're going to sell them to the rest of Europe, because from a company trying to grow and expand, Europe is a place that is going to have lots and lots of benefits for businesses. It's a huge market to be in. So a lot of businesses are looking to growth there. A lot of businesses are going to want to be there. Now, from our experience, it seems that like for you to be able to complete this one-stop shop, you'll need to have to be registered for VAT in one of those European countries. Now, you don't need to create a new business or anything like that within that European country. Your UK business will suffice as long as you're VAT registered. But what you are going to need to do is pick a country to actually hold and have your first initial registration. Now, from our experience, it seems like Germany is the place to be. They're one of the biggest players in the EU anyway, so it's always going to be a marketplace that's going to be attractive to a lot of UK businesses. And B, they just seem to have it a little bit more straightforward with the requirements for people to actually have a German VAT return, or a German VAT number, should I say, and the requirements for actually filing their VAT numbers. In fact, most of accountants out there should have the capability to be able to go out there, get yourself a German registration, and that will then basically be your entry point into the rest of the EU. We do find that it's going to be case by case, but at the moment it seems that Germany is the place to be looking out for. Now, this is all talking about if you're going to be selling directly. What about if you use online marketplaces, eBay, Amazon, them sort of places? Well, actually, this is really good news for you, because online marketplaces will collect VAT rather than the sellers for business to consumer. So instead of you, the actual individual seller who's selling on eBay, for example, when you make that sale, eBay will then add on the relevant VAT and collect that VAT and then make due and pay that VAT. So to clarify, for business to consumer transactions made through online marketplaces, VAT liability collecting and also reporting for sales in EU countries will fall on the marketplace, so that's the eBay, rather than the third-party sellers who use it. If the consignment is valued less than €150, the marketplace will be recognised as the supplier. This applies for both domestic and cross-border transactions. It means that businesses using online marketplaces may be able to end their VAT registration in the EU member states, as they will no longer be responsible for collecting and reporting VAT. So it's a huge change there. Also though, do think about what that means for your business. What's going to happen when it comes to you, quote unquote, selling those transactions abroad? Well, what that means is if you're using an online marketplace, then first and foremost, your transactions, the business, is that you're selling the items to eBay or Amazon or whatever it's going to be with no VAT on it whatsoever. Because remember, their job is then to add on the VAT based on whatever customer and what their customer's base of entry is, or whatever country they're from, that's the VAT that's going to be added on. eBay, Amazon, or whatever the marketplace will be, will then grab that output VAT, and what it's going to do then, it's going to take that output VAT and it's going to pass it over to whichever relevant country using their own IOSS. Now, for you to be able to do this though, that means that when you send your goods from the UK to the EU, you need to make sure those goods have the marketplace's IOSS number. Now, they'll only have one number and it'll be the same number each and every time, and it has to be done electronically. But that IOSS number basically says that when it goes through customs and imports and everything else, that the duties have already been paid on these goods. Therefore, your buyer isn't going to get a request for another import duty on top. Because you could quite imagine how frustrated your customer would be if they paid for VAT when they paid for it and then got an import duty as well as. So to avoid anything like that, please, please, please make sure that your IOSS number is going to be shown prominently on the importing documents and electronically on those importing documents, so that when you send them and they go through imports and excise, they won't get branched and they won't have to have additional import on. Now this is a really complicated area, and it's something that I think not a lot of businesses are fully prepared for. So if you want to know more, especially about IOSS and all about all of the little nuances there, you're already in the right place. So make sure you give us a like, make sure you give us a subscribe. We're going to be looking into this a lot more deeply, and also we're going to be putting on some live interactive sessions so that you can ask your questions when you need them. Now, get yourself out there, go sell to the European market. Your business deserves that growth. We want your business to grow. As always, here at Boffix, it's all about making sure that your business doesn't just survive, it thrives. And to me, selling in the EU marketplace seems like the perfect one. Back to Lizzie.
Thanks, Aaron. So we hope that you found that information helpful and easy to understand. If you did, then please do leave us a like. If you have any more questions, then feel free to leave a comment below. Finally, don't forget to subscribe for other business updates, tax tips and more. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Bye!